So this is the traveling book that I tried to start this month and never finished. I have about 10 pages left of this, and I don't know what else that they can do to this poor girl. She has been bit by a snake. There's been a stabbing in her family. What else happened? Oh, the foundry. I mean, my God. All this so that she could get married. So I just finished God in the Woods, and it was so good. Oh my gosh. I listened to it for 2 days. The only thing I don't agree with it is whether or not a 26-year-old woman in 1975 would be taken as seriously as one of the lead detectives or investigators in this book. I love the fact that one of the lead investigators were female, but because I know the history of the area that they're talking about, I don't think the toxic masculinity would have taken her seriously. But other than that, it was fantastic. Like, you really feel like you're in the woods looking for these kids, and it was really well done. So, good choice, Peter. Hello, I'm Kristen from the Neverending TBR in Kristen's Corner. I forgot that I didn't do my August wrap-up. I've been in readathon mode. I'll start with, this is what I read. I'll start with my DNFs because there's 2, and then I'll go with my favorite and then work my way through my list. So the first DNF, if Kristen from Kristen Craves Books is watching, I tried thrice. 3 times I tried. I could not get through the burning book one, this one. Could not get through it. I tried to read it when I got it. Then I tried to listen to it. Couldn't do that. And then I tried to immersion read it, and I couldn't do that. I had a really hard time finally getting into a storyline, and then the next chapter I'd be in the other storyline because there's a dual storyline going on. And then the other thing for me is I really got caught up on the machine trying to figure out how it works, because they explain the person goes through the machine with pages or the book that they're going to do an adventure on, and then they have to work through that adventure, and the machine spits them back out when they finish it. My brain went from like the Hellraiser cube to the Matrix. Like, I was trying to figure out what this thing would look like, and it took away from the story for me. So I think I got 30% into it, maybe a little bit more, and I couldn't push through. So I let that go. And then the other DNF was The Masters of Death. Cool cover. It starts off strong. The beginning is narrated by Death, and how he became responsible for a mortal human boy, and that kid becomes his nephew. And it had potential, but then when the point of view changed to the actual characters that the story is about, the one guy just whined the entire time. So I gave up. But it had potential. I couldn't get into it. My favorite read was Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher. I was in a slump. I think it was after I decided to finally let the Book That Wouldn't Burn book just be gone. I sold it on Pango. Like, that's how much I was just like, I'm done. So I had that one, and I immersion read that. I loved it. It's about a woman going through a divorce, and she goes to help her uncle, who has like an antique shop with just a whole bunch of different stuff, and the things come alive, and she go like, there's a hole to another portal, and I can't give it justice to explain it, but it's fantastic. And she becomes friends with this barista that he has a shop next to her uncle's shop, and she's responsible for the shop while her uncle is getting treatment, and things just start coming alive in the shop, and she has to figure out what is happening and how to make it stop before her uncle comes back. I loved it. It was a great ride. There were some jump scares where I was listening, I was like, wow. You know? But yeah, they can do no wrong in my eyes. And then I'm trying to think, what was the other 5-star book? The Wallflower book. It wasn't Again the Magic. It was the other one. Hold on. Hold, please. Oh no. There it is. Okay. Secrets of a Summer Night. It was really cute. I'm loving the Wallflower series. Like, I'm really impressed with it. The women playing baseball, or what I perceive as baseball, in their underwear so that they can run better, was the best scene for me. But there was a lot that happened at like the last part of the book, and you saw like what else is going to happen to this woman in the last couple pages of this book. So that was a 5-star. I don't remember excuse me, what I rated the God of the Woods, but that was a good whodunit mystery kind of book. I liked the fact that we were in the Adirondacks. I knew where they were, and I thought it was kind of cool that it was set in the 1970s, I think. And it's around this rich family that has a camp, and there's a feud between the people that own the land before they came and bought the land for super cheap, and then the rich people made the people that used to own the land work for them. And so there's a feud between that, and it has a lot of the fancy pants parties that the rich people used to do. I don't know if they still do that, but if you know anything about the Vanderbilts or any of the rich New York families from the early 1900s, pretty much all the way into the 70s, it kind of touches on their stories. But I thought it was really good. I think I listened to it in a day and a half. A Feather So Black was really good. I think I'm gonna finish or go on with the series. That was one of my Fairy Loot books, and I really did like the story. It's it's the 12 dancing princesses story and Black Swan story, I think, or the Swan Princess. It's like a retelling of that, but the switch is that the princess that was stolen and becomes a swan is replaced with a changeling, and it's now time for the changeling and the princess to switch roles. So I won't do it justice by explaining it because there's a lot of different things that happen. It was well told though, but it's a thick book. I'm trying to think of what else. Her Ruthless Duke by Scarlett Scott, that was just straight up smut. Like, it was kind of annoying for me in the beginning, and then it grew on me, but there's certain things about historical romance where I'm like, oh, good God. Like, she wants to be this independent woman, but you can't because you're still seen as a piece of furniture, basically. And the Duke, once he gets over this one hang up, he was like, oh, okay. And he becomes a cinnamon roll, like, here, have this, have that, have this. And I'm like, what the hell happened to this guy? So, but I love doing the lives and watching B and Tara talk about it and stuff. But yeah, that reminded me of like old historical romances that I used to read. I was like, oh my God, are we going to get to anything eventually? Like, let's go. And then once they started doing stuff, I'm like, this is just smut for like chapters, man. So, but it was a good book. I wasn't so impressed where I'm like, here, take this book and read it. And then the last two are the Murder is a Piece of Cake and 2 parts sugar and 1 part murder. I don't know which one's first and which one's second. And it's by Valerie Burns. I listened to them. The first book, my biggest complaint is that she is an influencer who gets jilted at the altar, and it's just seen and it goes viral. She finds out that her auntie has passed and left her a bakery and a mastiff, this huge dog named Baby. And she's like, you know what? I need to get away from LA. I'm going to go find out what my aunt left me, what the deal is, what I'm supposed to do. And she goes to Michigan and she finds out the differences between LA and everywhere else. And it's cute. I just hated all the hashtags because I'm sure when you're reading it physically, it's probably either set up like an Instagram post or whatever. So you're reading it and you can probably skip over it or whatever. But when you're listening to it, it feels like minutes of hashtag this, hashtag that, hashtag. I'm like, all right, we get it. You're YouTube famous, whatever, like, let's go. But I loved the dog. The dog is my favorite part, and I'll probably be, going on with the series because I love the dog. And I love like the little community that she becomes a part of, and and like with every cozy mystery, someone dies on this person's property and now she is part of the whodunit kind of thing. But they have their own like little Scooby gang. I forget what it's called. Something like Sherlock Holmes or Agatha Christie. I think it's Sherlock Holmes though. And they all get together and they try and solve crimes, and the sheriff is part of it too. So it's cute. It was really cute. It's a really quick read. And I kind of want to own the physical books because I want to make some of the recipes that are at the end. They sound delicious. Like, she talked about a chocolate cake and I'm like, I bet you that's in there. And I need that book. So that was everything I read in August. Sorry for the late video. Like I said, I've been like in readathon mode, and then this week coming up, I'll be in travel mode because I'm off to get my grandmother to bring her back home to California to live. So wish me luck with that. I am pre-filming the next 2 weeks. So yeah, I hope you're having a great day, great week. Let me know if you've read any of these books or if you have any interest, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.